Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I completed this drawing from start to finish, from the sketching process all the way to the coloring process, and also sharing some tips and tricks. Before we begin though, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys who are subscribed. If you're new here, my name is Daria and I love to draw but also play piano. So yeah, you'll see some of that as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video and stick around to the end. So here, to start off with this sketch, I'm just drawing the cranium and then the side planes of the head. The method that I use here is the Loomis method. It's a pretty straightforward way of drawing portraits, and ever since I started with this method, my portraits have drastically improved. It's just a great way to get the proportions down, and yeah. Now here I decided I didn't like the sketch, so I restarted completely. And yeah, that's just the sketching process, for me at least. It's just a very tedious process going back and forth. And here now you can see that I have all the proportions mapped out. Hey guys, so here's what the sketch is currently looking like compared to the reference photo. I think I'm going to add just a few little changes. Now I'm just taking my kneadable eraser and just lightening up the sketch and then going over it with my 0.5mm lead pencil just to perfect the sketch even further. And here you can see that I'm drawing in also the planes of the face, as there is a huge light shift in my reference photo that I wanted to capture on the sketch as the foundation. Okay, so I think I'm done with the sketch. It looks pretty good. And yeah, I'm going to start coloring now. I just drew a little bit of like the planes of the face because here there's like a big light shift. So I just want to like map that out before I start coloring. Here I'm just going in with red and lightening up the sketch so the graphite doesn't show through. And I'm just layering in the base layers of the red and also the highlights and the midtones. I always love to start with the eye. It's just the easiest for me to start from the eyes and then just work my way out. For this reference photo that I chose in particular, the yellows and oranges were more of the midtones, and then the red was sort of like a shadow, and finally the white was the highlights. And now, working close up on the eye, I'm just mapping out the different details with this darker brown pencil. But you can see here that I'm using a variety of different colored pencils. Now here you can see just really fast that I'm using my oranges, yellows, browns, just to blend out all the different colors. You don't want to use just one or two different colors. You want to have at least like 10 different pencils, just so you can have a variety of colors, values, and shades to have a nice, even blended look. Here is what the drawing is looking like. It's looking pretty good so far, and now I'm just gonna fill in this eye right here and show you guys the process of that. So yeah. So first I'm going in with like a brownish darker color, but not like a black straight away, because if I make a mistake, it's easier to blend it out with this lighter color than a black pencil. I'm just like lightly outlining my sketch. I should probably erase this because we don't really want any graphite underneath. The graphite's just to help be the sketch of the drawing. Yeah, so a good idea when coloring is to just go over your sketch lightly with a colored pencil, preferably something like a darker brown, not so much a black, because as I said, it's a lot easier to go back if you make a mistake. And you can see here that I'm just going in many light layers. The clip is pretty sped up, but I am not using that much pressure because you always want to just build up the value with colored pencils. And here you can see that I'm going in circular motions, just blending out the color. It's always best to just go in circular motions with colored pencils, in contrast to ballpoint pen, where I much prefer just cross-hatching and hatching in straight lines. Here you can see that I'm just going in circular motions, applying light pressure as it's one of the first layers. And yeah, that's just one thing that you want to always keep in mind. Apply light pressure and work in circular motion. And you can see here again, I'm going in with this darker mauve color and applying more and more pressure as the layers are building up. One thing to look out for when drawing with colored pencils is to layer on a good variety of colors, even if you don't think that that specific color might be there. Like let's say you're drawing somewhere where it's blue, but then you add some yellow underneath, because that yellow can be a part of the undertone of the photo, and it helps to add lots of depth to the color rather than just having a plain one hue area, and you see lots more dimension. Like for instance, on the cheek right there, you can see that I have different shades of red, some gray, some blue, maybe a little orange, and now I'm going in with this darker blue. And it really just helps to deepen up the values and make it more visually appealing and interesting. Now for the neck, I'm adding in the base layers again. Here you can see that I'm adding in the shadows and the different colors like the orange and blue. And you can see that it's not blended out at all because it is just the first couple of layers. As I'm adding more and more layers, you can see here that the depth is starting to build up. Here it doesn't really look like much is happening, but you can see in my hand that I'm using many different colored pencils, and I'm just going back and forth to blend out and layer on each different section. As the layers start to build up, you want to add more and more pressure until you wax out the paper, which is when the paper can't take any more color. I like to do this because it gives the drawing a very nice, smooth, and even finish. Here again, I'm mapping out the shadows and adding different shades of blue, brown, red, just to deepen up and give the color some richness. Now I'm just touching up some areas on the neck before I move on. And here I'm just adding some more blue to deepen up that shadowed area. Again, with the hand, like before, we want to start off with light layers, building up with different colors, always going in circular motions. Now here you can see that I added the shadows, and now I'm going in with a really light pencil to sort of blend that out. Here I'm using a purple pencil as sort of a transition shade between the blue and the orange. And here I decided it wasn't dark enough, so I'm just going back in with my dark blue pencil. And here you can see that I am going in a hatching motion, but it's okay because I'm not adding too much pressure. With the top of the hand, I really wanted the colors to be very vibrant. So I was using lots of neon colors and lots of yellow to blend it all out. Now for drawing the hair, I'm just using a darker pencil to map out the general shadows and then taking a lighter pencil to map out the highlights of the hair. And here I'm just adding some different flyaways. Personally, I don't like drawing hair that much, so I'll usually just draw it in an abstract style to go a lot quicker. Moving on to the background, I was kind of rushing it. Here you can see that I am not following the rule of going in circular motions. But anyways, back to the hair. Now I'm taking my black pencil and just deepening up those shadows and drawing in the direction that the hair strands are going. Hello everyone, so it is the next day and here's what the drawing is looking like. It is almost done, so yeah, let's go back to working. At this point you could say that the drawing is done, but there was many spots that still you could see the paper through, so I just wanted to blend that all out. And here I'm just going over the whole drawing, just adding the finishing details. To finish off the hair, here I'm going over it again with my black, sort of covering over my highlights. Now, you may be wondering, what am I doing here? And you'll see just in a second that I am now going over it with a lighter pencil to bring back those highlights. The great thing about colored pencils is that you can always go back on your mistakes. Unlike ballpoint pen, which when you go black, you cannot go back. So yeah, that's just one thing to keep in mind. And here I'm just taking my black pencil and just roughly bringing back those different shadows. And here I'm just peeling off the tape.
So, how did you make this?
And adding the final different details with a white gel pen. So that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And also comment down below what I should draw next down in the comments below. I might choose your suggestion. And also feel free to comment down below any drawing suggestions. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!